welcome to Coloured Gaze. This is a Yandere visual novel where you work at a convenience store at night and meet some very interesting people. However, they are definitely not as nice as they seem. Let's get started! You can't remember the last time you've gone out of your way to do things outside of school or your part-time job for the past few months. It's been a struggle to live by yourself after moving out of your parents' house that it's hard to find free time to do whatever. Having to juggle between college classes in the day and part-time into the night? However, this year would be your last year. Soon, you'll be free after you graduate. Well, more like less stuff to stress about, and maybe get out of that gloomy convenience store. Besides, you turn the doorknob for your apartment, wishing you weren't so weighed down by work and class. Maybe you'd get time to relax and even meet someone nice. Ugh, I'm so beat. You groan, dropping your bag onto the wooden floor of your room, letting out a small thud. You plop yourself into the comfort of your bed, making the most out of each second of comfort you could, before preparing to work at the local convenience store in your neighborhood. Right, it's my shift tonight. Fuck, can't I ever get a break? You whine as you roll to your side, still tired from 8 hours of college lectures. You sit back up on the side of your bed in a tired hunch, letting out a heavy and drained sigh as you contemplate whether to go or not. I really don't want to go, but head to work. Groceries won't pay for themselves. You grimace at the thought of needing to keep up with your rent and basic living expenses. As soon as you have all your needed belongings, you open your phone and text your coworker Avery. You said that you'll be there in a few minutes, to which you receive a monotonous reply. Okay, hurry up. You sigh and put your phone back into your pocket and head over to your workplace. As the sun slowly sinks down in the horizon, the orange sky changes into the cold, quiet night. Damn, it's so cold out already. You feel yourself shiver from the cold breeze as you near the local convenience store where you work. You look up to see the bright, flickering signage you know all too well. The name Convenient All Day illuminated the street in purple and white colors. It was honestly such a bad taste in design. Soon, you're at the automatic glass doors of the convenience store and see Avery behind the register scrolling through his phone like usual. You let out a deep sigh and walk through the doors as soon as they open. Oh, you're finally here. I thought you were kidnapped or something. Shame, he said in a sarcastic and annoyed tone, phone in hand and clearly wanting to get out of his shift as soon as he could. Good to see you too, Avery. Rolling your eyes in response as you made your way into the staff room. After placing your bag in one of the lockers, you quickly dress yourself into your work shirt. Suddenly, Avery went bursting in and rushing in to change as well. Okay, so the manager said I gotta leave the rest of the work to you. Since you'll be staying longer than I do, here's all you gotta do. He hands you a piece of paper with his handwriting on it. It was definitely not from the manager. Hey, what? Okay, thanks. Avery, halt! Bye! Before you could even finish, he waved a hand goodbye and already sped off to who knows where. Never mind. You groaned about how you were left with your coworker's unfinished work. Avery was always like this. Yet you can't even get a word out and he has the manager always on his side. I guess that's what happened when you're a favorite nephew. Ew, nepotism! That damn twink. Someday the manager will catch him slacking. Despite having a cute face they so pride themselves on, their actual personality didn't quite match. You sigh in defeat and head back out, taking your place behind the register. You watch as very few customers walk in and browse around the store as you help them with their purchases. Your usual boring part-time work just to keep up with school and apartment rent. The school allowance from your parents wasn't exactly enough to cover up living expenses. You didn't want to bother your poor old parents to ask for more. They barely have enough time for themselves for their pension. You groan, deep in thought as the faint music from the speakers fill the store. If only they could make me full-time and would pay me more if I have to deal with— Oh? You hear the automatic doors open and find a tall figure, and tall figure's kinda hot. Suspiciously in all black clothing with a black face mask worn over his face and a cap. But he's hot. His tall stature and vibrant red eyes behind the man's glasses gave a chilling feeling up your spine. It was quite dark now and there have been reports of dangerous activity in the area lately. You gulp nervously as your eyes follow his movements. Welcome to convenience, sir. You managed to stutter out your usual employee greeting to customers, hoping he was a customer. He raised his head and you flinched as you noticed his eyes squint at you for a moment before turning around. Oh, thank fuck. You carefully watch him go around each aisle. You notice he wasn't touching any of the items on the shelves. Like any normal customer would take a look at the items at least. It was very weird. He just stared at the items on the racks and went to the next shelf and did the same. He then turned his head in your direction right back at you. You jump as he took notice of your gaze on him. You yelp in surprise and look away. Shit! You let out a hushed squeak and could feel yourself grow cold, taking slow deep breaths, calming yourself in your mind. He didn't see me, he totally didn't. They're just browsing, calm down it. But then you hear a cough, as if to get your attention. Excuse me. You flinched in surprise when you heard a man's deep voice clearing his throat, which sounded much like a growl. Ooh. You looked up, and it was the tall man with the face mask. He was towering over you as you looked down, locking eyes with you. Oh my god, he looks at me so disdainfully. Yes? Is there something you need, sir? You squeak, the bubbling feeling of stranger danger welling up in your chest. He slid his hand out of his pocket and you held your breath. The way the scene looked right now wasn't good. Lowering your head, avoiding the gaze of the red-eyed stranger. Can I get the one with the red label behind you? I mean the smoke's in that case, huff and puff. Huh? You lift your head back in attention and realize his hand pointing to the back at the cigarette case display. The man blinked, holding his red gaze down onto yours before he slid his face mask down. Oh my god, no, not the shark teeth! My absolute weakness! Hot. Oh, sorry. Can I get a pack with the red label in that case behind you? The one that says huff and puff? You blink for a second. Oh, he just wanted to get a cigarette pack. You sigh in relief in your mind. Your eyes pan down to his eerie smirk and notice his teeth were really sharp. Not to mention the man had very vibrant red eyes. It was quite mesmerizing. Mesmerizingly sexy. Sorry, I'll get it for you, sir. Fumbling around and quickly opening the case of the pack, the customer asked for and placing it on the counter. You also noticed he took a single piece of candy from the first shelf, which surprised you since you didn't get to see him holding it, as you were too focused on watching him go around. Will that be all, sir? Yeah, that'd be all. What about your number? Can I have that? To see this man's face fully felt strange, as his features were very unique. Your fear slowly became an interest. This caught you off guard as you saw him smirk, clearly teasing you about the way you kept staring at him the whole time he's been here. I'm sorry. It's just I've never seen anyone like you before. Not many come in full black clothing at night with a mask. You nervously mumbled as you scanned his items. You gulped down the feeling of embarrassment as you utter out another apology to the stranger. Again, I'm really sorry if I seem, Before you could finish your sentence, the man cut you off with a chuckle. No, it's alright. I get that a lot. It was colder than usual, so I had to cover up. Sorry if I scared you. He said in a much smoother tone, as he reassured you that you didn't offend him in any way at all. You sighed as he smiled at the stranger. He seemed to be more calm and nicer than you, though. You watched him put his mask back up, covering his face once more. Don't worry about it. Sorry, what's your name? He asked as he waited for your response. You must have forgotten to put your name tag on when you changed in the staff room. Calmly answer. It's, I don't sound very calm at all. Yinny. Cute. Cute. Suits you. Your cheeks flush pink from the little compliment. You can call me Seth. That's a pretty name. Calling me Mister is a bit too formal for me. I see. Seth? Nice to meet you, Yinny. The way you said your name felt strange. And saying that it's cute. You can tell the way his eyes squint, smiling behind that mask. You felt your heart flutter a little. I see. Fiddling your fingers nervously, just gazing down onto the register screen. Still unsure of what else to say. You weren't exactly good at small talk, and he's still a stranger after all. You okay there, Yinny? You glanced back up at him in a flustered manner. You must have looked really weird just spacing out, you thought. Oh, right. How much is it all? You're suddenly reminded of the task at hand and you fumble around to look at the total. Right. It'll be about $25. He handed over a $50 bill, and you're about to give him his change. He let out a short sigh instead as he pushed it over into your hand. Nah, keep it. As a tip, you lift your head up in surprise. He took the purchase bar and cigarettes, stuffing them into his pocket, along with the receipt as he turned his back, walking towards the door. But before he stepped out, he gives you a look over his shoulder and waves his hand. Thanks for the cigs, Yinny. Catch you later. Come back soon. Seth, thank you for coming. You return the waving as you watch him exit the store. You sigh and look at the change in your hand. I guess he's just really a nice guy after all. You smile and put the change into the tip jar. No, you should pocket that tip. That tip's yours. You hope to see him again soon. A few hours have passed, and you haven't had anyone coming in. You let out a quick sigh, alone again inside the store dead at night. Not many people come around this time, most of the stuff is already in place. It's incredibly cold, not to mention how gloomy and boring the store looked overall. The owners really need to upgrade the interior. Oh, this is so boring. You groan out loud by placing your elbows against the counter lazily, your head resting against your palms. You glance down your watch and look at the time. It wasn't even past 10 PM yet. You huffed out in a pout. I guess I'll do other stuff in the store for now. I wonder what's left to do. Standing up from your chair and stretching to relieve a bit of the stiffness from sitting for too long behind the counter, your eyes glance over to a list your coworker left and saw there was actually only a few things to do. Supply, delivery, and restocking the fridge. For once, Avery didn't leave all the heavy stuff for you tonight, you thought as you looked at the paper. You put the paper in your pocket and headed over to the back to restock as you waited for the delivery for the store supply. It didn't take too long for you to be able to finish restocking the store's fridge and found yourself sweeping the floor. Soon enough, you hear what sounds like a heavy vehicle parking over to the side. Oh, that must be it. Joe's here earlier than expected. You hummed in attention as you put the broom to the side and head over to the storeroom out of the place. It wasn't exactly fun having to move all the boxes into the storage room alone, especially not with their usual delivery guy who calls himself Joe something. He really wasn't all that friendly. Now that you think about it, you're surrounded by really crappy people. No wonder you feel drained every time you work. And a little lonely, you sigh. You sometimes wish you could enjoy a bit of the fun side of college. You let out a heavy breath when you hear a knock, then followed by an unfamiliar voice on the other side of the door. Hello? This is, Blue Zip delivery service. Aw, cute. You opened the door and were met with a pair of hazelnut eyes and dark green hair. They seemed quite nervous. Oh, hello. I haven't seen you around here before. I thought Joe would be doing truck delivery. You tilt your head with a confused look. The man before you looked around nervously. It seemed like he wasn't used to talking much. He does look like the type to be a bit shy. After a moment, he stutters out a reply. Joe got into an accident and is on leave, so I was told to take his place until he recovers. He had a soft, gentle, and smooth voice. You notice, despite the grim news about Joe. What do you bet that he caused Joe's accident? Oh, damn, I see. I hope he recovers very soon. There was a short silence between the two of you. Introduce yourself. To cut the awkward silence, you breathe in as you open your mouth to speak. So in the meanwhile, since we'll be meeting a lot more often, he looks at you with his brows raised, as if surprised. Might as well get acquainted with the nervous man. I'm Yinny. You? You give a small smile and reach out your hand for him to shake. He looks away shyly, his cheeks flushed a faint pink for a moment before he puts his clipboard nestled on his side. Shaking your hand for a brief moment, he then replies in the same gentle tone. I'm Simon Lee Willows, or just Simon is fine. You couldn't help but smile even more. There was something about him that felt nice. Was it his voice? His mannerisms? Whatever it is, you hoped he wouldn't be as mean as the others. Interacting with new people was always hard, especially for you, but it seems like it's the same for him. He kept apologizing for the smallest things, like bumping into you with his elbow by accident as you two lifted the boxes into the storeroom. I'm sorry. I must be really tough to work with. No, not really. You shake your head and smile at Simon, who looked quite flustered. Poor guy. No, not really. I'm actually thankful you helped me with carrying the boxes. Oh, well, that's pretty much my job to help you, and I shouldn't leave all the work to you, but I'm glad. A faint flush of pink colored his cheeks, smiling. What he said made you feel a little happy. He was kind. You chuckled and patted his shoulder. That's real sweet, Simon. If Joe was here, he would have just watched me do his work with carrying. Oh, yes. You're very nice, Yinny. Suddenly your phone buzzes loudly in your pocket, and you quickly take it out. Already? Simon looks at you with a puzzled look. Is everything alright? You look back to him, the box is already inside, so thank him for helping you and see him out. And it would be a shame to just shoo away the poor guy. Well, it's time for someone else to work at this time. Shifts, am I right? Well, thank you for helping me move these boxes. Oh, no problem. I'm glad to be of help, really. He stutters with a nervous look as he places the last box of bottled water onto a shelf. I know, you're pretty cool. You see him stop for a moment and shyly turn to you. What? Cool? Yeah, I mean, you paused for a moment, finding the right words to say. Giving compliments wasn't exactly your forte. Though this guy seems really nice and kind compared to the other people you've always been with. Hoping maybe you'd actually have a friend who won't bail on you or something else. It's nice to have someone to properly talk to, I guess. Simon blinks for a bit and gives a small sheepish smile. Same here. My coworkers aren't exactly as nice as you, Yinny. Kinda makes it hard to come up and socialize. In a long while, you feel a bit at ease talking to someone. You seem to have something in common, at least. That's true, but hey, for once I don't have to go home and gruel about my day. So, see you again next week? You smile at Simon, and he returns it with a shy look. You're probably overthinking it, but his face looks even more pink than before. I hope to see you again soon too, Yinny. Drive safe, buddy. Not the buddy! You take care too, Yinny. You wave your hand goodbye to Simon as he returned to his truck. As soon as you close the door to the back door, you let out a huge sigh and stretch your arms. Man, those boxes were so darn heavy. Thank goodness for Simon. Time really does fly when you're busy doing something. I didn't think it would already be 12. You text your coworker back before you switch back from your uniform to your casual clothes. You took your seat back behind the register, and said coworker arrived sooner than expected. You tightly clutch the strap of your bag and step out of the store, walking right back home. As you walk across the street, heading home as you let out a tired sigh, you looked around for a bit and turned the corner. Around this time, you noticed how dark it was at night. Couldn't even see a proper street sign nearby. You weren't sure if you were going through the right street at this point. You look around again. Oh, weird. Didn't I take a left earlier? I'm too tired for this. You grin in annoyance and wonder why people still aren't fixing the lights. It's no longer a mystery why there's been a crime rise these days. They really need to fix the street lights around here. I could barely see anything with how dark it is right now. Suddenly, a freezing chill runs up your back. With how cold and dark it was, you begin feeling a bit anxious with your surroundings. Now that I think about it, I should really be... What? I hear footsteps. You felt your heart beating faster, startled by the sudden sounds coming from behind you. Okay, I really need to hurry. Oh god. Your blood ran cold as you hear it again, turning your back again to check if there was anyone. It seemed you were the only one in that street. Was someone following you? You gulp at the terrifying thought. You held your bag close and kept walking at a faster pace. Whoever is following me, I need to lose them. Where do I go? Ah, shit! Right. You take a turn to the right, taking the long path around your usual route. Eventually, you manage to get back home in one piece, your heart still racing from the spooky encounter. You're back into the comfort of your own home, hopping down onto the bed exhausted from work. Man, I must have been hearing things and got scared for nothing. I really should take that sick leave. You lay on your bed recalling the events that happened throughout your shift. Tonight's been pretty eventful. I didn't think I'd run into such different people, but I guess it wasn't too bad. As you feel your eyelids grow heavy from tiredness, you drift off to sleep as you lay on your bed in the cold and comforting darkness. There's someone watching me from the window. Hang on. Let me move myself. But yeah, look. See, there's someone watching me. To be continued. I am intrigued by this guy. This guy right here with the hair tied up and the red eyes and the shark teeth. He's hot. Alright, let's try and pick some different choices here. What happens if I just stay and rest? You shook your head, considering clocking in later instead and have at least an hour's worth of rest. You pull your phone out and send a text to your coworker that you'll be arriving later as class will be taking longer than you thought, hoping it's enough to convince Avery to stay a bit longer in their shift and give you some time to yourself. Oh, fine, if you're not here in an hour or so, I'm leaving, and don't blame me if you get fired for being late, part-timer. Avery was very obviously annoyed, but their threats are something you're already used to ever since you started working with them. You roll your eyes as you think up of a reply that won't piss them off even more. Despite having a cute face they so pride themselves in, their actual personality didn't quite match. And you wonder why they even get dates at all. Yeah, don't worry, piss baby. And you do know I have a name, right? It's Yinny. You type it out with a hint of annoyance. You see Avery typing for 5 minutes but pause and leaves you on red instead. You grimace. Letting out a relieved sigh, you put your phone aside and did a stretch and lay on your back against the comfort of your bed. You close your eyes and not a moment after you fall asleep. Uh-oh. Not long after, the sudden sound of your phone vibrating scares you awake as you quickly grab it to see Avery's name on the screen. They've been calling you as you glance over to the time on the top of the screen. Your brain hadn't processed that it had been more than an hour that you'd been asleep. You pick it up groggily and hear them yelling through the phone. Yinny, how much longer is that class of yours? It's way over an hour already and I'm already late for a dumb date. I even ran into my stupid ex-boyfriend and shit was so awkward. This is embarrassing for me. Hurry up or I'm leaving this store with no employee. As expected, you put your phone at a distance from your ear before you go deaf from their yelling. Yeah, I'm already up. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Before Avery could start cursing at you in their native language, you end the call. You sit back up and rub the side of your neck, yawning. You check the time again, and blink for a moment when the panic sinks in. I slept for too long! Damn it! You curse under your breath and quickly push your phone into your pocket and get up from your bed, hurrying over to the living room to grab your bag and you rush out of your apartment. Soon, you're by the automatic glass doors of the convenience store, and you take a moment to breathe from all the running. You peer into the store. You couldn't see Avery anywhere, so you assumed he had clocked out already. Oh, they really did keep their word about leaving the store empty. As you went inside, you let out a deep sigh and you made your way to the staff room. Placing your bag into your locker, you quickly dress yourself into your work shirt. You walk back out and sit behind the counter, slumping down onto the surface as you waited for whatever being comes in. You notice a piece of paper stuck to the cash register which had Avery's handwriting listed and all that's left to do. A few hours have passed, and you haven't had anyone coming in. You let out a quick sigh, alone again inside the store dead at night. Not many people come in around this time. Most of the stuff is already in place. It's incredibly cold. Not to mention how gloomy and boring the store design looks overall. Okay, so if we are late, you don't get to meet the first guy. And I think you instead meet the delivery guy instead. Alright, if that's the case, let's skip over back to where we had to choose left or right. Alright, here we are. Left. I'll just turn left. There's more light. Ow! Oh, this is a new area. You suddenly bump into someone, making you stumble a bit and grab onto his sleeve. Looking up with a panicked expression, you feel yourself shaking a bit from uneasiness. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump into you. I think I'm being followed and... Oh dear. Take deep breaths. You look at the man. He did seem very concerned. Taking a few deep breaths helped you calm down, thankful that someone was around to help. Are you alright, dear? Yeah, I think I heard someone else's steps, but I'm sorry, I must have just been hearing things. You found yourself quickly holding onto him, which made your cheeks flush pink and quickly let go. Sorry, I didn't mean to hold on to you like that. He gave you a small smile. It's alright, but now it would seem no one's on your tail. Really, are you sure? You gulped nervously, still shaken up from such an encounter. Yes, I didn't see any other person other than you, sighing in relief from the reassurance as you patted down your clothes, shaking off that uneasy feeling. Oh, thank goodness, I thought I was a goner. Oh, right, I'm eating. I guess the stress and darkness was making me a little jumpy. The man looked quite handsome. He had a prominent British accent. He nods and puts his hand out for a handshake. You reach out and your eyes widen in surprise as he held it gently, leaning down to kiss the back of your hand. Nice to meet you, Yandere. I'm Zachary. Zach for short, if you'd rather say. Your face turned red from the gesture and you look away shyly. You felt him let go of your hand and you laughed nervously. Oh, well, yeah, do you usually do that when you meet new people? You asked jokingly, a bit weirded out from the whole gentlemanly gesture from Zach. Zach chuckled from your question. Well, you could say that. Does that make you uncomfortable? Well, not really, but I'm just not used to such things. I don't really mind though. He smiled softly and you put your gaze up to him. It was quite charming. He must be popular with people. You then remembered you were supposed to be home by now as you check your phone for the time. Oh shoot, it's so late. I got a class at 7 AM. I'm sorry, but I do have to get home. Oh well, do be careful on your way home. I heard a few bad things happening around here. Yeah, but I can manage myself from here. Thanks for helping me though. It was really nice meeting you, Zach. I hope to see you again, Yandere. Take care. You wave goodbye to Zach and hurry back to your apartment. You're back in the comfort of your own home, plopping down into the bed exhausted from work. Tonight's been pretty eventful. Didn't think I'd run into such different people. But I guess it wasn't too bad. As you felt your eyelids grow heavy from tiredness, you drift off to sleep as you lay on your bed in the cold and comforting darkness. So I'm pretty sure that was Zach who shows up at your window, but he doesn't show up if you actually run into... No, he's still there. God damn it. Man! I know it's him, because he's the one that has the blue eyes, and he's the blue one over here. That was interesting though. Yeah, that was colored gaze. I actually am really intrigued by the guy in red. I'm a big sucker for sharp teeth, red eyes, tall, dark, and handsome, you know. But yeah, this is interesting. I really hope they update it soon. I know it's the demo just for now, and they did say that each person will have a good and bad ending, so I'm really looking forward to that. But thank you so much for sticking around with the story. If you guys like this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. And also, which guy was your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to hang out outside of videos, I also stream on Twitch 4 times a week. I am currently playing Elden Ring, so feel free to stop by and say hi if you'd like. But until next time, thank you so much again, and take care.